Hey there, so in this video, let's talk about objective order. What I mean by that is the order in which you place your objectives and how CloseBot is going to go after those objectives to achieve them all. Now, if you'll notice, there's a standard of 6 priorities, but there's actually technically 7. So if you were to put something all the way to priority 6, it would actually open up a separate row or column for priority 7. Now, you can have, I think, up to 5 or 6 different objectives in each of these priorities. So you can have a lot of objectives if you need that many. Now, most times this is more than adequate for the goals that I'm trying to achieve for my clients. As I always say, simple sells and simple scales. So I try not to make too complex of bots unless I was doing like an onboarding form or some customer intake form or something to that nature. Now, let me kind of back up here for a second and put these how they were, because you're going to notice that there's priority 1, there's priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, priority 5. So how this bot would work and how your bot will work as well is it's going to achieve all the objectives in each priority before it will go to the next one. So for instance, there's only one objective in priority 1, so it's going to get the service, and once it deems that it has an acceptable answer, it's going to pass over to priority 2. Now, it will never jump to priority 2 without first achieving what has been put in priority 1. But if you'll notice, priority 2 has 3 different things here, and you might make them and try to like reorder them. You're trying to get one to like be at the top and like have a sequential order. It does not do that because it asks these questions in a way that the conversation deems most natural. So depending on how that person is interacting with our bot, it may ask for vehicle type first, it may ask for name first, it may ask for condition of vehicle first, and again, it's all dependent on what flows most naturally for that conversation. So you could have 10 different conversations, and it may be different each time that you have those conversations, and that is due to how it is built. And it's actually a really cool thing because again, somebody could go through the flow and not get the same exact questions in the same order, which makes it look more human-like. So the way it's going to work is it's going to get the info from priority 1. Once it achieves all that, we're going to go to priority 2. It'll ask in whatever order that it needs to get that information, whatever's most natural. And again, it will not pass over to priority 3 until it achieves all this information. Now, the only thing here to keep note of is it's going to ask these questions until it deems an acceptable answer. So if you have something like we have vehicle type, which we are trying to determine the year, make, and model, and we have a maximum attempts of 2 on here. So if somebody just says car, our bot is going to ask again, and if they say, luxury car, we're only asking twice, so it would pass this after 2 times. But if we turn this off, it's going to ask however many times that it needs to until it deems this an acceptable answer, which for us is the year, make, and model of that car. And then it'll collect that information, deem that objective complete, ask the other ones, and then it'll pass off to priority 3. So again, just to recap, it's never going to go from priority 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 without first achieving the objectives that are in here, and it'll do it in whatever order is most natural for the conversation. So again, think that out as you're mapping out your objectives, so that way you make sure you have a really, really good flow. That's it for this video. I will see you in another video.